Hi everyone, my name is Brad Wicks and I'm one of the managing partners at the Denver Video Company. Today we begin our first in a series of video blogs that will address lighting business videos. We call this a series of video blogs for the uninitiated, and by that we mean that it's not for professionals but for anybody who's interested in making better looking business videos. In the video today we're going to be addressing some vocabulary that will help you better understand some of the lighting concepts that we'll share in the upcoming videos. And I know that going over terms is no fun, but it's important that we be able to describe to you light and how it's going to interact and react with your subject matter of your video. So let's just get started. The first term that I want to share is hard light. Now, hard light is defined as a light that produces a shadow that has a crisp, defined edge. The shadow is either there or it isn't, but there's no transitional area between the shadow and the light. In the example below, you can see that the shadow cast by this marble in this hard light environment has a really defined edge. The next term is soft light. Now, soft light is defined as a light that produces a shadow that has a vague edge. In the example of the marble here in this soft light environment, you can see that it has a vague or fuzzy shadow line. To better understand these two types of light, let's take a look at a real life situation. In our everyday experience, the direct sunlight is going to be considered a hard light, and it's going to produce a well-defined shadow like the marble on the left. During a day with an overcast sky, the light from the sun as it passes through those clouds is diffused, becomes soft, and produces a shadow with a fuzzier edge like the marble on the right. Now, in those cases where you have a very heavy overcast day, you may not even see shadows, and this would be considered a flat light. What you have to decide is which of these types of light will work best in your particular situation. Let's take a look at a comparison between hard and soft light. Hard light works best in scenes shot outdoors. The distinct shadows created by your lighting instruments are going to best match those shadows created by the sun. Now, if you're trying to create a little drama in your video, hard lighting is probably going to work best. Be careful though, Hollywood's been using hard lighting for years to create villainous looks, and you want to make sure that your spokesperson doesn't end up looking sinister. In some product shots, the use of hard light creates a real striking image, so it might be appropriate. With soft light, you're going to find that it works best for indoor shots. Lighting in an office that comes from overhead and bounces off white walls is indeed quite soft. Most people are going to look best in a softer light. Still photographers have been using soft light to make their clients look the best for years, and it's probably a good idea that we follow their lead. Now, product will always look good to a certain extent in soft light, but it might be a little flat with no real definition, and that could be a problem. Now, in regards to flat light or light that creates no shadow, we here at the Denver Video Company avoid using it in all but the most special of circumstances, which brings me to our next concept, the theory of three-dimensional contrast. Now, this theory, simply put, states that light hitting a single object is going to produce three distinct densities. It's going to produce specular highlight, diffuse value, and shadow. It's these three densities that reveal a object's shape, its form, its texture, and its depth. In this example, the blue marble is really just a blue circle. When we add the specular highlight, the diffuse value, and the shadow, we see it takes on the form of a three-dimensional object, in this case the marble. Additionally, we can also define those areas of transition between these densities with specular edge transfer and shadow edge transfer. Viewers watching your video will better recognize a product's value, for instance, if they can perceive a depth and shape in your product. In the text version of this blog, we have an example of two t-shirts, one with three-dimensional contrast and one without. These examples really show this concept being put into practice. You can see those examples at our website, denvervideocompany.com. Just click on our blog tab and then open the first article in this series. That's pretty much it for this video. In our next video, we will be sharing our first lighting scheme for you to try. It's called three-point lighting. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our video blogs, and visit our site to see even more information on every subject that we're going to be covering. Once again, that's denvervideocompany.com. And while you're there, make sure you like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Denver Video Co. I'm Brad Wicks. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more in this series.